Hey, what's going on YouTube? Final Boss back, and today I got some great news. Got 12 wins in a grand challenge. Just wanted to share this with you. Also, I got some hog tips I'd like to bring in. I'm going to go on ahead and open this chest here, but I'm also going to kind of talk over it as well. I got some great news back on my account. It's getting reset. Supercell is going to do right. Thankfully, Ash was able to help me out. If it wasn't for him, account probably would have been gone forever. So I'm really excited to get that back. But at the same time, just it was really nice to not have to worry about leaderboard play and everything else. But I mean, it was kind of like I didn't get invited to a party that was I was normally a part of, and I just felt a little bummed. Some musketeers, those are nice, and come on, no 5, nope, we're not going to get any legendaries. But yeah, so I mean, I've got the chance to kind of clean up some of my hog play, focus in a little bit better. I feel like I've been kind of all over the place. So even in this time off has kind of helped me out. So let me go on ahead and talk about this deck here that I was using. Jordan did a write-up here, and he uses these 1 elixir skeletons, which is absolutely awesome. I tried it out in the Grand Challenge as well, and a lot of people were actually using this, but I switched it back to the 3 minions because it counters the graveyard. So I really feel like these are almost kind of essential, and if they don't fireball your minions, then you still have the musketeer and your ice golem and some other things that you can kind of counter, but you're going to still see that a lot. Last season I was using a deck that was with the freeze and the elite barbarians. But you can, as you can see here, the deck that was being used last season, it doesn't really work in the grand challenges because of the just because of all of that, just because of the you need a fireball. So this was the deck that I was using last season. So if you want to use this deck, go on ahead and substitute out the fireball here, and you can also use the archers, which I was also experimenting with. But you can also switch that out for more of the ladder play. But there is a big difference actually in ladder play versus, playing grand challenges. So people are like, well, oh, I can beat you in a grand challenge. Well, ladder play is different, especially in top 200 and, especially in your meta where everybody's using Royal Giants. So, it's a complete different game. Maybe in a perfect world where everybody's card levels were different, but thing is a level 7 hog is different than max level hog. There's just a lot of variations in this game, so actually playing grand challenges is like playing a different game than playing ladders. So even in playing top 200 and playing on a lower level count, or playing on my level 10 account where all my cards were, I got this deck given to me for free. I had a bunch of legendaries on it, but all the cards were leveled. So we're going to go on ahead and get into some gameplay here, and I'm going to break everything down for you guys and going ahead and show you guys what is going on here. I'm playing Astro from Phone Cats. I believe this is, he was playing with the Graveyard deck. So going ahead and start off with the musketeer here, and this game, I'd really focus on cleaning up my hog play, just kind of focus, playing a little bit more slower. Here recently, I swear I've just been playing way more aggressive, which it does pay off, sometimes being aggressive, but at the same time, you got to cool it out. So, just playing slow all the time doesn't always mean you're going to win either. So it's really hard to have a balance. And just because one thing works for me, it might not work for you guys. So just because, somebody says, what's the best deck? Well, I saw somebody answer that with the best response I'd heard was play to your highest card levels. Here you kind of got me. Sometimes, guys, I lose a tower right off the bat because, I'm super aggressive. And I get a little caught up in what everything's going on, and I just kind of lose track of where to play. But once they hit you back in the face, it's kind of like, hey, okay, well now I need to slow down because this guy is not going to be a pushover. But sometimes that initial push is worth all of it. But you know what? Sometimes just 6 elixir push, just kind of like let it happen, let it roll, and then it kind of set back up. So here I did the actual hog push here. If you can see, it's 1 tile over on the right, and the hog immediately right behind it on the same tile, which I'd been using the hog just kind of with the ice golem because it's like it doesn't really push that well with just using the hog rider and everything else, because it seems like it doesn't matter what you do. it still gets drawled over, and it's not essentially the same as using an ice spirit, because the ice spirit hog push, which you put on the same tile, it works really well. But the ice golem is really hard to pick push with it, even on the right hand side, because even if you could see on this placement here on the tombstone, even if I do the ice golem on the same tile right there on the side, it'll still get dragged over, as we are seeing here. But even if I put the ice golem there, the techniques there is just it's just not good. So I went ahead and threw down the fireball, zapped the mega minion, which is just essential right there. Going ahead and distract with the ice golem, put the minions in the back to kind of take this over. I'm not going to be able to do anything against that, but we have already done some massive amount of damage on his tower left, because that was the initial push that we got on here. Get some great value right here with the fireball. Was able to hit the tombstone and the musketeer. Now we're just kind of sitting back and chilling. Put the ice spirit down the right side. Thought we were going to get a giant, but we're going ahead and try to put the golem and the hog in his face. We were able to get one hit, which is excellent. He goes on ahead and drops his tombstone, spending 10 elixir, but able to pull over here on the cannon. And he was going to get some excellent value right there with the fireball. Nothing I was going to be able to do against that. And he didn't zap my mega minion. Going ahead and throw down a prediction fireball. He puts down a tombstone. Excellent play right there. Still almost got an extra hit in and was not able to do so. This game is still up for grabs, especially with the giant mega minion graveyard. Going ahead and approach him over here on the side. So as you can see, my aggression is picking up. So yes, I do kind of pick and choose. So essentially in the very beginning, I was super aggressive. I got punched in the face. Then I ended up outplaying him on the right-hand tower to take his tower. And then he ended up taking out the tower. But now I've heated up the aggression, because once we get in here, I mean, just dropped that in the center, and that was GG. Alright guys, next game up, I'm playing against a guy that's playing with a elite barbarians as his main win condition, which is I've expressed earlier in other games. I just don't think that elite barbarians should be used as your win condition. If that is what you guys are using, that is fine. I mean, that's you, do you. But it's just not something in a strategy that I would tell anybody to go on ahead and start. And as you guys can see, he put the sometimes the pig push works and sometimes it doesn't. So just as you saw on the furnace right there, I figured going ahead and bring that over. Ice Golem does distract over here. Put a cannon down to handle some of the elite barbarians. And a match I learned earlier about countering elite barbarians, I was using them, and someone dropped fire spirits down and just it almost like annihilated them. So that's another great counter. Another great counter to e-barbs are also using just regular barbarians. They counter them very well. You could also use a Skarmy. Skarmy is really gimmicky. You can zap it away, log it. Speaking of zap, I went ahead and zapped. I was going to fireball there, but I just went ahead and zapped. It worked out in my benefit. So we got the musketeer, put it in the back. That's typical strategy here with this deck. You know, going ahead and put the musketeer. Sometimes they fireball it, sometimes they don't. But he spent 6 elixir there. He did get some damage on my tower with that. But I decided going ahead and push the other lane. So just like I've preached in almost every one of my videos, I'll never be afraid to push the other lane, especially when someone's overly committing to one lane. So minions, guys, by the way, as you can see right here, the minions on the elite barbarians, they just take like 5,000 hours to do anything against it. So kind of be prepared for that, just to kind of know that if you're up against elite barbarians, you are going to have to deal with that. But the thing is you can't always have a deck to counter every single deck. But the graveyard is a highly used card in the grand challenges. I'm going to say that you're probably going to see it at least 5 to 6 times in your matches. You know, whether it be the bowler variant, whether it be the giant variant. So it's okay, because sometimes, you know, you even play against Tombstone and you're like, you know what, I wish I had that. So did a clutch fireball right there, zap combo. Was able to sneak the hog in whenever he put the furnace in. And like I said, guys, it does work sometimes when you push like that on the same tile, but it doesn't always work that way. So this is a typical technique that you're going to do with the elite barbarians and the ice golem, just going ahead and putting it on the right hand side tile. over to the right of the king side tile. I'm going to put a lot more information in there. Jordan did an excellent write-up about it. He's getting a lot of praise for it, and he's a friend of mine. But he, you guys should see this write-up. It's really, really good, especially if you're new to being a hog player. Some of the stuff you may know, and sometimes there might be something in there that you're like, oh man, that's really good. So this is what I've cleaned up and been using and doing a lot better. Is actually, if you could see on the center portion, I've been using my hog in the center. I've actually been putting it one tile over, and then also putting my placement with the hog either on the same tile if I can, or just put it on the right hand side. Going ahead and fireball zap that, and that is good game. But I did have a bad musketeer placement there, and he also got me with a poor placement on with my minions there. He was able to get away damage. But you know what? Besides that, it was really well played on my part, and there was a couple mistakes there that were the reason why that game was so close. So I gotta tell you guys, make sure that you're watching your losses. I know the Clash with Ash just did a great video. Great dude. He's been helping me get my account back. I love this guy. He's just absolutely amazing. Going ahead and Ahsoka is a really smart and talented player as well. They do a write-up and talking about the mental state of this game, and they were just kind of stating that, whenever you're playing with, whenever you are losing, or if you're on a tilt streak, go back and watch your losses. I know I've said this in other videos, and I've said a lot of things that I keep repeating, but there's a reason for it. The losses are more important to figure out how you lost, or like Ahsoka was saying, he's like, there's a series of events of why you lost. So just kind of like on that last game, why was that game so close? It was because I messed up on the minions, and I didn't have a counter for the elite barbarians, and then also a terrible musketeer placement. But I was still able to recover and outplayed them. But that's fine. But also on that note too, guys, if I ever play you guys, and this was kind of a dicey situation, I was trying to wait for the fireball for the lava hound to pop. That's why I kind of waited so long, that fireball, to throw it out. I was thinking that to maybe get some value with the pups exploding. But yeah. But you know what? It's not always just someone else's card levels. It's not because of a deck. Try to figure out, if you hate this card so much, maybe it's an issue with you figuring out how to counter the card. And that should be, something that you should try to learn and try to help your game out a lot better. It is inevitable that you are going to lose in this game, even if you've played your best. Sometimes people's cards rotations is just where it's at, and that's just how it goes. And I've had starting hands where my counters are 6 or 7 cards down at the bottom, and I don't have anything for it, and I'm going to sit there and eat a ton of damage. And this player might be really good, and he knows that. So, I mean, sometimes that's why you just go on ahead and do a pig push right off the bat, because you never know if what their cards are on counter that. So, but that's just part of the game. I mean, it's a great game. It's a fun game. It is supposed to make you have emotional whatever, but the reason I'm showing this one, guys, because this deck is highly used right now. It's one of the toughest decks that's you're gonna face in grand challenges. It's highly used. I was able to put down a clutch cannon there to pull that loon over there, and since this deck is so cheap, it's a lot cheaper than this deck that this guy's using. But to be able to to fireball, loon, lava hound, like, how do you counter all that? Well, you got to break up the defenses. You can't let them sit there and spend all the elixir. Got a really good money zap in there and a great hog hit. Was able to take that down relatively easy. But you know what? There's just going to be, I've lost to this deck. I've gotten completely owned by this deck. But it's a really, really good deck. But you also have to figure out, how you played against it and what you could have done better. Sometimes you maybe spent all of your elixir on one area, or maybe you missed a fireball, and some of these things are just things that you can clean up in your gameplay. Like I said, there's some things that I've been doing in my gameplay that I've been trying to clean up that I've noticed as well. None of us are perfect. I mean, this is a learning experience, and even watching some of my older videos, it looks completely different, but then again, it was a different game 6 months ago. So I mean, things are going to change. Even watching some old trifecta matches, I'm like, well, this person could have done this, that, and the other. So anyway, this guy kind of throws me off guard here. I'm going ahead and put the ice golem down. Don't want to lose my tower due to a mega minion getting a ton of hits. We're able to get the minions down, do enough damage, so the mega minion is not even able to get a hit in. We defended that really, really, really well. All right, so at this point now, I'm just going to go on ahead and hold up and just get my elixir back. And sometimes that's just what you have to do, especially when you know you're up in elixir. So that's kind of when you know when to attack, is when you're up in elixir. Now, like I said, I want to do a video on how to count elixir, but a lot of times I don't even count elixir. I just do it more based on gut feeling and knowing that like this guy just spent all of his elixir. Now that gut feeling has been completely wrong a bunch of times. So yeah. But another really good counter to graveyard is if you have a cannon, is going ahead and put your cannon right next to the tower. As you can see, it cleaned up the boulder really nicely. I was expecting a graveyard, but he did not put it in here. Put down the musketeer to go on ahead and start our push. Was thinking about going ahead and throwing the fireball out right there, and I do. It was probably a bad fireball, and I probably should have just went on ahead and put the hog rider down and pushed and just waited on the fireball. But I don't know. It just sometimes we just do things in the spirit of the moment, and we're just going ahead and do that. So I've always been a strong advocate about pushing other lanes. This Kane is going to distract again against the bowler to be able to take that down, and he shows down a late fireball, which was able to do that. So now we've done some hefty damage on one side. He's got his mega minion on the other one, and just breaking up the pushes is always key. And able check that out. Great hit right there. I should have thrown the fireball, but at a certain point, I knew that I had to go back and go on defense. So instead of throwing, once you realize sometimes when you make a late play or you didn't make a play fast enough, you go on ahead and wait. So I made a mistake here. I kind of had my musketeer and my minions just in a bad place, and he was able to do some hefty amount of damage. Got the ice golem, ice spirit coming in. I'm not feeling like very good right now at this point. The hog's going to be able to get one hit in, get the zap, which was clutch, and then I'm able to secure the victory in a really, really close one, or I thought, and that's where I said good game, and that's where I messed up. I did not. That wasn't a BM. I thought that the game was over, and he was able to throw in a fireball zap the last second. I knew that I had him. I almost was like just kind of shocked. Man, I thought I had the game and the time was ending. I was able to do a hefty amount of damage on there on that push. The bowler is just insane value, and as you can see, my hog placements as they get later in the game get a little bit sloppy. And like I said, I was not. I didn't think I was going to win this one, guys, at one point, and then I was able to turn it around with a clutch, and then I thought that, oh crap, I thought I had it in the bag, and then he comes back and ties it up, and now I know that with his bowlers that, there's only one lane here. Going ahead and throw down a prediction fireball. I thought maybe he would put his archers right there, but was not able to get anything. But I did get some chip damage, but one good push on his side is going to be able to beat me, so I still have to play solid defense and still maintain some aggression. So I did a little bit better, but the minions are getting a little bit closer, but he does a bad fireball, which was able to help me catch up. I probably shouldn't have put my ice golem here, but at this point we got a minute and 45. I can just fireball him out with just solid defense. So going ahead and do that. Put the cannon down in the front just to kind of help out and take out that tombstone. Kind of distract as well. I know the graveyard is coming. I put the musketeer on the right side because I'm going to put the minions in the back to kind of split everything up right here because I don't want him getting value. So going ahead and fireball zap, and that was the game. Alright guys, like I said, if you're in one of my videos, like I've never tried to bash anybody, and if you feel that way, I really apologize, but I don't think I've ever bashed any player individually on my channel, and I do not mean that by any means. That's something that I'll never do or try not to ever do, but it has not been done yet in any of my videos. So really excited about it. I really like this deck. Is one of my favorite decks, especially for grand challenges right now. If I was playing this last season, I would have been running this deck, or if not, I would have been running the deck that I was using earlier with the freeze combo and the elite barbarians. It's just really good to hold off those big huge pushes. So those were two of the top tier decks that I was trying to feature that were in there. But like I said, they're not a good. They're not just because you see them in the top 200 doesn't mean that they're good grand challenge decks, because it's just complete different game, different card levels, different damage, different different decks that you're seeing up there, and different decks that you're going to see in your meta. Like I said, a lot of the things that you're going to end up finding is still solid against Royal Giant, and this is still a really good option. You can also throw in the skeleton army for the 1 elixir skeleton. skeletons if you want. I also had I had some pretty good success on my count. I got it to about 4,300, and I just leveled up some of my cards. So I mean, it's not the greatest, and I wasn't trying to push the hardest on this account. And you know, next season maybe I'll see if I can get the level 10 account up to at least 4,500 trophies. I'm not sure what's respectable for my trophy levels, but I know if I could get my rares to level 9, I'd probably be able to get close to 5,000. That'd probably be as a level 11. So please check out the description, guys. Excellent write-up on this deck. Just some great and excellent tips in there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope maybe you learned something. If you didn't, I'm sorry, whatever. But anyway, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys. Happy New Year 2017. Peace.